We're at Gamescom 2017, and as usual with Pro Evolution Soccer, there's been a few announcements here at the show.
Yeah.
If we just rattle them off to begin with, what's new with PES here at Gamescom this year? What have you announced?
I think the two big ones, there is two. The first one is right behind me. It's the Borussia Dortmund partnership that we've just announced. We've been going through the last few weeks announcing these big partnerships with some big teams. We got Barcelona, we signed with Liverpool, and then a big 4-year deal with Borussia Dortmund. This gives us unprecedented access to the team, the players, being able to recreate them, their style visually. It also allows us to start to tackle this licensing issue, which is becoming more and more of an issue now as PES each year improves and starts to eradicate all the different issues that people had with PES. We're starting to come down to one, which is the licenses, and this really helps us battle that. The second big announcement, I'm really happy to say, is the demo. The demo is coming out next week on PS4, PS3, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. And for us, it's a huge moment because we always talk about gameplay, don't we? That's our big talking point. It's what we lead with. It's what PES is known for, and it's really about getting the game in people's hands and letting them test it for themselves.
Lots to talk about there. If we start here locally with Dortmund, feels like a natural fit to partner with that. It's a two. Of course, they have two big clubs in Germany that have sort of been battling it out, but Dortmund feels like that sort of. The strong supporters. It's probably the best atmosphere in football. That stadium, Westfalenstadion, is something out of the ordinary. What is that one of the reasons why you wanted to go with Dortmund?
Yeah. So the partnership in terms of this whole road that we're going down, it's really interesting what you mentioned as well, because when we announced the Barcelona partnership, I said that we wanted to start the road with the biggest team in the world. That's no disrespect to any other teams that we're going to partner with in the future, but I think everyone can kind of agree with where I'm coming from. In my time, certainly in my lifetime, the most successful club in recent history, won the Champions League so many times. And for me, really, we wanted to sign with teams that meant so much to their fans, to the city and to the country. And you've got Barcelona, obviously, more than a club. Liverpool as well, that history and heritage, and those fans as well. And Dortmund, you mentioned that as well. They all have something in common, and everyone can link that through them. You mentioned the fans, exactly how important those clubs are as well. But moving forward, no, I think it's about really looking at whoever wants to work with us. Because for PES, if we're going to work in the world of partnerships, it's not necessarily about picking and choosing always the best clubs all the time. We don't want to discriminate against somebody who's in the third division. I mean, we've got some important announcements to be made in Brazil and Latin America as well, which will definitely prove that point for sure. It's about really aligning with as many teams as possible, but to start off with, we wanted to make the right choices to have the biggest impact.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Germany, where you have Bayern, you have Dortmund. There's certainly other teams that would have been cool to have in there, but they're kind of the two big ones. In England, the situation is it's very difficult to pick one team. What was the reasoning going into picking Liverpool? Obviously, they haven't got a Premier League title, so it's not the number of Premier League titles that you went for, but what went into that?
The history and the fans, for sure. I think that meant a lot to us. When we were sort of thinking about which team to partner up with, you have the Manchester Uniteds as well. You have the Man Cities in terms of the money and the size as well. But Liverpool just felt like a PES club. Hopefully people know what I mean. It's that club which has got a lot of respect and history, respect from people from all over the world as well.
Also their own style of the game, much like Barcelona has tiki-taka. There's this, well, I don't know if they adhere to it anymore, but classic Liverpool is that passing,
pass and move. I think with Klopp, they're a little bit more gegenpressing and really high up pressing, for sure. But I think there's an affinity with Liverpool from a lot of people who watch football because of that history. And I think that's why we went for Liverpool. I mean, let's not forget, we also have Arsenal as well there, who haven't been in PES for 10 years, have them licensed as well. But the partnership with Liverpool was certainly based on that history. They've got a fantastic history in the Champions League, 5 times winners. It's an exclusive license in PES as well. And it allows us to really, I know that they're not in Champions League right now, but they have a lot of history. And certainly when we are doing these long-term partnerships, we are thinking of not just this era, but the past as well. So with Liverpool's case, we also have the legend players available to us as well. We have Robbie Fowler, we have Ian Rush and Michael Owen. And certainly in Michael Owen's case, a player who's played for a number of teams, you've got players who I think appeal to all fans for sure.
Are those the 3 legends that are in there, or will there be more announced later? Or?
We've got over 20 coming from Barcelona, some really big names. The only ones that I can confirm are Rivaldo and Belletti. But Barcelona will be announcing all the Barcelona legends that we have in the game. But yeah, I mean, hopefully in total over 30 altogether, all in my club, which, as you know, is a very popular mode, a very, very new mode still, four pairs. Team building, monetizing, these modes are huge these days, and we're really going to give those guys who love my club a lot of amazing content.
It's interesting because all the mentioned legends that you talked about so far are sort of within my lifetime. They're the ones I grew up with. Are you looking even further back at legends as well? Players who would never had been in any video game, if you will.
Yeah, I think so. I think we are looking at that for sure. Barcelona, for example, had their dream team Champions League winners, in the 90s, when they won it for the first time, actually in Wembley as well. But I think the issue with going even further back is it becomes more of an educational standpoint for people rather than content which everyone can align with and have some affinity with. And I think the further back you go, you're really trying to, I think you're more about the football, yet perhaps the fans, your demographic that you appeal to, might not have a clue of who you're including in the game. So it's very, very careful. We have to be careful with that, not just to add people for the sake of adding, but there has to be a reason for that as well.
Interesting. Because certainly both Liverpool and Barcelona have legends throughout their histories of the clubs. It's not like it's limited to anything. I got to ask you, because it's kind of a funny moment, because Marco Reus won the cover vote for FIFA, and you've got a partnership with Dortmund. So you got a Dortmund player on the FIFA cover, no Dortmund player on the PES cover. It's kind of a unique situation. What's your take on it?
It's incredible, right? I think Dortmund are very, very happy this year as a club. No, listen, I think it's a great opportunity for the club. For FIFA, I think it's great to have Reus. I think he's a great player. We've got Barca with Champions League. Just so you know, we are actually doing a special version with Borussia Dortmund as well for PES. It's going to miss launch. We're still talking to them exactly when it's going to come out, maybe for Christmas, maybe for the holiday. But we are...
Really? Something you're thinking of with all the partner clubs to have that sort of special thing?
Well, the clubs actually are talking to us about it. The clubs are the ones that really want this kind of content for their game, because they are, obviously see a lot of fans who are loving video games, loving PES, and they want to create something special for them as well. So when we do a special version for, like, say, BVB or for Liverpool, we'll definitely include some special content in there, whether it'll be something to do with VIP tickets, maybe, or maybe some in-game items as well, for sure.
Interesting. Are Anfield and Westfalenstadion, are they also exclusive to Pro Evolution this year?
No, actually, I don't think so, no, because I think both of those stadiums are owned by the league themselves, so Bundesliga will own.
Have rights for it.
Yeah, and same with the Premier League. So the only stadium which is exclusive, though, from the partnerships is the Camp Nou. So Camp Nou is only going to be in PES for sure. Regarding the others, though, I'm just happy to have them rather than taken away, because we know PES has had a stadium issue for a number of years now, where last year we had 24. Thankfully, this year we have 30. So we are really growing the number, but also we're bringing in some really iconic stadiums as well to go from a game which hasn't had the Camp Nou for ages, never had this Signal Iduna Park and Anfield, for example, to suddenly have those 3 iconic stadiums is really, really great for us.
Yeah, and certainly, I mean, a lot of stadiums are kind of like similar to the experience of them, but these are certainly stadiums that have their own very unique feel, their own very much different atmosphere than anything else. Certainly Anfield up there as well with the atmosphere that brings.
Yeah, and the partnerships really allow us to obviously battle the license issue, but really improve the game. It's amazing when people download the demo next week, they'll be able to play in the Camp Nou. And what they'll experience is actual sound files that the club have provided for us. So it's the actual crowd making that sound. So you'll hear the hymnal being played as the players come out. You'll hear the crowd chanting, the player chanting, Messi, Messi, all those kind of things are in the game. And we get them from the clubs thanks to the partnership. We'll get the same from Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, they both share the "You'll never walk alone" chant as well. But you are right. They have their own kind of sound and the whole feel. And it's up to us to really maximize these partnerships, because it's not just about saying back of the box, I've got a license. It's really benefiting the game and putting you in that moment, that experience of feeling like you are really there.
Very interesting. I mean, just thinking of it, Liverpool and Dortmund last season was still like, it was that convergence of those two.
Yeah.
That game, the manager, Klopp, obviously against his old club, and just everything coming together in that game. It was just an amazing experience to witness that.
Absolutely, and we've definitely got Klopp in there with his style, with the whole gegenpressing, like I mentioned before.
Wait, Klopp in there, is he going to be physically in the game that you can see him as well?
Not during the game, no. But you do see him a little picture of him is there when you select Liverpool and things like that. When you're in edit mode, changing tactics. When you're in my club, you can sign Klopp in my club, and he'll come with his tactics of gegenpressing and his tactics of that formation that he has. And I think we're gonna certainly benefit from having that. I guess as a manager, to have this kind of icon in the game as well. We do have Thomas Tuchel as well from Dortmund there, little image and things like that. So his style of play as well, which obviously is very, very similar. But that game, and I'm hopeful these partnerships allow us, certainly in Liverpool and Dortmund's case, allow us to recreate some of these past moments. And that's something that we're looking for in the future.
I mean, it's something great to pull from for a trailer in any case, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and you actually mentioned that as well, marketing-wise. For us, PES has really not had very good awareness levels. We don't do the big TV trailers or anything like that, but what we tend to do is market really well online. We bring out trailers on YouTube and things like that, and now we can actually use incredible social presence from clubs like Barcelona, Dortmund and Liverpool. I mean, Barcelona have got nearly 200 million people following them globally, and we'll be able to use their channels to really push PES and promote PES, Liverpool and Dortmund as well. So this might be actually a new way of marketing PES to a whole new audience.
Very interesting. You touched on the Camp Nou being in the demo. What content will be in the demo? Can you detail it all?
Yeah, if I can remember, we have 9 teams: Barcelona, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Boca Juniors, Flamengo, River Plate, Corinthians, Germany, and France. I think that's all of them. But there is
that a clue of maybe clubs that you'll have partnership with?
Definitely, yeah, definitely watch out for it. I mean, we've got a tour in Latin America over the next few weeks. We're going to be announcing loads of new partnerships there. We've announced 3 really big ones in Europe. PES is a global game. I've mentioned it before. In Latin America, we are number 1. And we've got some exciting news over the next few weeks for those fans, for sure. And then, you got the Camp Nou in there, and you got the new Sun Arena, which is a PES original stadium that we've actually brought to the game as well. So really exciting times.
How is the game coming together now? I mean, the demo's coming out. It's just a few weeks out from release. What's it like? How is it coming together?
We're really happy right now. We saw a situation last year where PES was getting all the awards. It was getting all the high review scores. And then what happened was we launched the game. We didn't have any kind of roster update. And that really, really hurt us. And right now, we're feeling very, very good. We're looking at PES. We're seeing how it's doing. And it's fantastic. And we don't see the same issues that happened last year. We're in a much better place, if I'm honest. We're much more confident as well. So right now, also, we've got a 2-week head start on FIFA, which is kind of nice because it gives us room to really breathe and to really, I think, for a football fan, itching for 2 weeks to play a game, it's kind of nice. They have the demo. They can see what PES is really about. And hopefully it will make that choice for them this year.
It is interesting. You mentioned there the updates. I understand you're sort of the pipeline for all of that is dramatically changed this year so that you're able to be more agile?
Yeah, I think one of the first announcements that we made actually was to acknowledge the mistake, acknowledge the error that we made with PES 16. And first and foremost now, moving forward, PES will have day one updates, and then moving forward, weekly updates for both online and for offline. So there's never going to be a long wait to start your new Master League season or anything like that again in PES. And we're really happy, and again, super sorry for the fans for happened last year, but we certainly fixed that, and we're really going beyond for the fans.
And I think before we started this interview, I think you promised that if Messi changes his hair, there will be a special patch.
Absolutely, yeah. So regarding Messi, I think right now, I don't know how long he's going to be blonde and have a beard. That's my opinion. But certainly, we are going to do
He's certainly flip-flop on the Argentina.
Yeah, maybe. See, that's a good excuse for me. But the truth is, we really pride ourselves in the authenticity, and you'll see that in the demo, the player faces, how they look, how they move. So for sure, if Messi stays this way, we're going to do a visual update in mid-October. And certainly by the middle of September, if he's still blonde with a beard, we will put him in. But everyone must help make sure that Messi does not then change back with no beard and normal hair, please. Thank you.
The day the patch is out.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing to wake up to.
I think we can excuse you on that one, because it's like, who can tell Messi what hair to have? I mean, that's...
Absolutely, he's the best player of all time, so let's let him have his beard and blonde hair at least for a little bit.
All right. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you. Looking forward to playing it this year.
Thank you so much.